Undisputed. We are live from Los Angeles. I'm Alex Curry here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. Good morning, guys, and happy Friday. How we doing?
We did again. Go team up on you again. You going down.
Unintentional this time.
Down, Skip Bayless.
I would like to warn our viewers that my man across the table, Mr. Shannon Sharp, Pro Football Hall of Famer, is once again about to break the golden rule on this show. You do not ever bet against one man in sports, Tom Brady, and he's about to try it one more time.
I'm going to bet against Thomas, Edric, Patrick, Brady.
All of them?
All of them.
So it's like a 5 cases.
Twice in back-to-back weeks.
That's correct. Here we go. I can't wait.
Okay.
Yeah, let's start with it because Fox has a great matchup in America's Game of the Week this Sunday in a clash of two undefeated teams. Tom Brady and the Bucs head west in their first road game of the season to take on Matthew Stafford and the Rams. Now, the California native Brady will play his first NFL game ever in Los Angeles, facing off against the QB who Rams fans are hoping is the missing piece to getting back to the Super Bowl. Now, Shannon, you've been on the Rams all week, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you believe in Matthew Stafford to beat Tom Brady?
4, 5, 9. That's where I'm at. A 9. Yeah.
Say it with your chest.
9.
Try to convince yourself, Shannon Sharp.
Yep. I love what the Rams are with Matthew Stafford because you have to defend every blade of grass from 0 yards to 60 yards, left, right. There's no area on the field that's safe when the ball is in his hands. He can just do things. His arm talent is undeniable. He could just do things that Jared Goff can't do.
I agree. Keep going.
And so you combine that with Cooper Kupp. You combine that with Robert Woods. Now, they haven't got Deshaun Jackson involved as much as I think they can and should, but this will be a great game for him to take the top off the coverage at least once.
I agree.
The running game, Skip, they got a couple, got a little nick. They nicked at the running game, but that I don't know if you're going to have a whole lot of success running the football against this Tampa defense anyway. But teams have had success throwing the football. Matt Ryan threw the ball exceptionally well, except the last 2 throws of that ball game, which were pick sixes. And Dak, we know what Dak did on opening Thursday night. He threw the ball for over 400 yards. So for whatever reason, Skip, while the Bucs offense have seemingly picked up where they left off, the Bucs defense haven't had such luxury of doing that yet. So whatever the reasons are, now they're going to possibly be without, we know they're going to be without Murphy Bunting. Then we know possibly without JPP. That's a big, and Skip, they hadn't been getting to the quarterbacks like we saw them that last 5 to 6 games of the regular season and in that playoff push. But, so with that being said, and Sean McVay, this is what Sean McVay wanted. He wanted a quarterback that could run his complete playbook.
He did.
That could make you defend every area on the field. Mm-hmm. And I think because the Rams defense, look, that guy, he goes by AD. Aaron Donald is the best defensive player. I can make a compelling case. He's the best player in football.
So you think that AD's even better than the Lakers AD?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Aaron Donald has an opportunity.
That's a big concession on your part.
No, ain't no big concession. Aaron Donald has a chance to go down as the greatest defensive player ever. So I think the AD, Anthony Davis, has his work cut out to try to get jump over that hurdle. Leonard Floyd, they got the best DB in football in J. Ram, Taylor Rapp, Joseph Day. I like the Rams defense. I love this team. So I'm at a 9, and I got the Rams.
You got the Rams, says Shannon Sharp.
Do.
Okay, my turn. Shannon Sharp at this moment has me on the run because of the loss of 2 initial players, AB and JPP. If you had told me 3-4 days ago that I would be without Antonio Brown and Jason Pierre-Paul, AB and JPP, my initial prediction would have been undercut. I wouldn't have been nearly as confident. But I, for one, on this show, have courage of my convictions. I am never flip skip. So I'm going to stand strong behind my man, Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr.
Exactly.
Because I got one thing and only one thing going for me on Sunday.
What's that?
I do not have Brady's favorite target. And I'm going to remind you, speaking of targets, when they did lose to the Rams last November at Tampa Bay on Monday Night Football, the most targets by far on the team in that game went to Antonio Brown. He had 13 targets in that game. He is almost certainly not going to be able to play because of COVID, right?
Yep.
And what came alive at the end of the year? What made the Super Bowl, according to Shannon Sharp? Well, it was the demise of the protection, the offensive line of one Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
And meanwhile, all of a sudden, Shaq Barrett on one end, and even more so, JPP on the other end, started to rise and shine and devastate, right?
Yep.
JPP made the Pro Bowl last year, and it sounds almost certainly like he's not going to play in this game, right?
Yep.
Okay, so you have me at two supreme disadvantages, except I got you in one spot. I still don't believe in Matthew Stafford.
You will be. You will after the Sunday.
I admire him. I respect him. I honor him just the way Bruce Arians did. Remember the recent quotes from Bruce Arians? I'm going to read them real quick because they are staggering to me. Of Matt Stafford, Bruce Arians, the coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, said, he's one of my all-time favorite guys. He's tough as nails. He's one of the few quarterbacks I like going out and watching warm up just to watch him throw because he's so special, said Bruce Arians, who continued. I always felt like he was extremely one of the top 4 or 5 quarterbacks in this league for a long time. His team loves him because they know he's going to suck it up for them. Okay? Can you get much higher praise?
No.
From a coach? And this is way before this game, so it's not a game week. I'm going to gush just to try to set them up for the kill.
Well, he said that even before they were playing them.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He didn't even know when he said these things. He didn't even know. So I want that on the record about Matt Stafford.
Okay.
But now we look harder at who is Matt Stafford and what happened in Detroit. His record as a starter in Detroit, 74-90-1, okay? In 7 of those 9 seasons in Detroit, he had this guy nicknamed Megatron.
Yeah.
Was he any good?
Yeah.
Some people make the case just in a vacuum. If you had to create the all-time greatest receiver, would he not qualify?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Calvin Johnson we're talking about. So 7 of the 9 years with Megatron, Matt Stafford made 1 Pro Bowl. He went 0-3 in the postseason, and 2 of the games were not even close. The one at New Orleans, I don't know if you remember that one. That was when Drew Brees was riding high back in 2011.
Right. That was when Brees at his apex.
They got shelled. It was 45-28. But Megatron in that game at Superdome caught 12 balls for 211 yards and 2 touchdowns. And they still got blown out.
Right.
Then they played pretty well at Dallas against just a pretty good Dallas team. And
when
Tony
they got
Romo,
robbed,
they got robbed because a pass interference on Hitchens, now a Chief obviously, got overturned, and I still don't know why it got overturned, but they picked up the flag, and it saved the day for my Cowboys, who then went on to Green Bay, and they got robbed at Green Bay.
No.
So maybe it was karma.
One robbery
what goes around came back around, and we got robbed because Dez caught it. We all know he caught it. I don't even want to start. I'll get ill here on the
Skip,
show.
if you mug a man down the street and then somebody mug you, how you gonna call the cops? Because you did the exact same thing. Well, you shouldn't be upset.
That's what happened. You just nailed it. 2016 was his final playoff appearance. Matt Stafford in Detroit. He lost 26-6 at Seattle, and he wasn't very good. He barely threw for 200 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. That's his resume in Detroit. For all of his arm talent, for all of his toughness, I didn't see the intangibles that lifted him up above and into even the top 10 of quarterbacks, because I don't think you ever had him even in your top 10, though Arians is saying he's got top 5 talent.
You will see, Skip, the thing is, I think you and we graded him the same way. We looked at, throw the ball, got Megatron, but shouldn't we get some more victories out of this? Shouldn't we get a guy that's making the playoffs more often? But coaches, they view him entirely, Skip, and that's always been the case. If you look at how he's rated and how coaches look at him.
I got it. And for my eye test, obviously I'm locked into my Dallas Cowboys. And I'll remind Cowboy Nation of a couple of games that Matt Stafford played in his hometown of Dallas, Texas, where he went to Highland Park High School. 2011 at Dallas. They trailed 27-3 in the third quarter, at which point my man Tony Romo suddenly threw 2 pick sixes in the third quarter. One to the best man in his wedding, Bobby Carpenter. Made me wonder, did you throw him a present or something? Because it was 27-3.
Right.
And all of a sudden I look up, I actually went to the restroom at that point and came back in and it was 27-10. I said, what did I miss? Bobby Carpenter wants a Cowboy first-round pick, rejected by Bill Parcells, and then on to Detroit. He bounced around. Obviously, I love Bobby Carpenter. But again, we had Bobby on the show back at ESPN the next day, and he was saying, yeah, I kind of wondered